Damn street niggas, we ain't really comfortable with all of that thing. So what you trying to say?
Do what you do, baby.
Yeah, I want to graduate. I seen to come up through the mud. You feel me?
Real
Yeah, I'm saying, like I said, I used to be top. I'm one of the ones. When that nigga said he had a phone, his whole joke, and I'm looking at the screen like preach, cause I was on the phone with him. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying?
It's P.NUT the General, 2-0 of the podcast. You keep your body clean, huh? Yeah. And this the first edition, you heard me, of New Orleans hip-hop history with P.NUT the General. It will be airing every Tuesday from 5:04 p.m. But this the first installment, you understand me? And we're going to start with none other than Magnolia Slim / SOULJA Slim, you understand me? He was born James Darrell Tapp, September 9th, 1977, you heard me, in New Orleans, Louisiana, uptown area, the Magnolia Projects, you feel me? 6th Street to be exact, all right? He was best known for his hit single, Slow Motion, featuring Juvenile. But we about to take y'all back before that, you heard me, to the beginning, you understand me? Born up, like I said, uptown Magnolia, 6th Street to be exact. Slim grew up around all the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Born to Linda Tapp, that's his mother. Shout out to Miss Linda. All the big dogs, Glenn Mess, Sam Scully, Meatball. You know, a lot of big dogs, Slugger. Which he stated in Logger Black, I'm sorry, not Slugger. Which he stated in songs. Okay. So boom. You already know where he was from. He started bounce rap. Now, bounce rap is a popular genre of music that started in New Orleans, Louisiana, contrary to what others will say. But we're gonna get into that on another episode. You heard me? But this for Slim right here. So he started out as a bounce rapper. You feel me? At around about 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? So he not only rap, he cut hair, you know, he was living what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? He hustled, he robbed, he just was, you know what I'm saying, an all around street dude, you know what I'm saying? Basically whatever he had to do to make it. You understand me? Whatever he said in his songs, he was about. You understand? Believe me, you heard me. Take that for face value. He went to Corn High, but he dropped out in the 10th grade because money was on his mind, right? But he was ski balling that dope and that coke, losing his mind, right? At the same time, though, you heard me, he was trying to get it right. You know what I'm saying? He was stuck in the life that he was introduced to at a young age, you heard me? But he lived life of life terms, you understand? And you know, he lived it to the end of it, you feel me? So Slim first time rapping in public was at a DJ in the project, in the Magnolia Projects, you heard me? Super producer KLC. Y'all know him best from No Limit. He took him under his wing, you feel me? And you know, he believed in the then shy Magnolia Slim. So he put him, you know, he put him in the put the mic in his hand, kind of like put him on the spot, you know what I'm talking about? And Slim rap for the first time in public while crouched down, you understand me, at a DJ, crouched down at the DJ booth so nobody is saying. But at the same time, he ended up rocking that bitch, right? So everybody was like, man, who that is, who that is, who that is, right? So you know what I'm saying? He had got a little, you know, through the ride tip with that. You feel me? Still thugging, still in the street, still cutting hair, still doing whatever he had to do whatever he had to do with. You understand me? Slim started out a bounce rapper, like I said, you heard me. Back then, Bounce was gangster. Bounce was on some gangster shit. You know, everybody did bounce because that was kind of the way to get on because of the you know, the Trigger Man beat, you know what I'm saying, and the breakdown and shit. So that was a way to get on. It wasn't always what you see now. You understand me? But like I said, we're gonna get to that in a later episode. You feel me? So this was like what? I'm gonna say like 94, 95. You heard me? It was everything that Slim rapped about. You feel me? He was still living. You feel me? So then KLC signed him to let's see, my bad, y'all. You heard me? Parkway, you understand me? Parkway Pumping Records. You heard me? My bad, you understand me? Like I said, but we gonna get into that on another episode, a separate episode of that. But he was signed to Parkway Pumping Records, which was by the way of KLC from Uptown. You understand me? Slim first hit the scene and released his first project. He hit the scene in '93, released his first project in '94 entitled "SOULJA for Life." You heard me? By the way of Parkway Pumping Records and Hype Enough Records. You heard me? Now with that one up, right? His first project that he was released, right? He sold over 90,000 units, you understand me, independently in 1994. You heard me? In 94, that was when CDs were still $20. You heard me? 1999. You go holler at, you go in the AWOL to Peaches, you heard me? And it was $20. So if he sold over 90,000 back then in 94, that was kind of unheard of, you heard me? So, you know what I'm saying? He was already off to a great start. You feel me? He followed the success of his first project with an LP. It was called The Dark Side. You heard me? He released that with Hype Enough Records. You understand? Okay, so Slim was in the streets though. Still in the streets, still thugging, you know, still living what he rap. You feel me? So he left the scene for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Just thugging. You heard me? Then he released the track "I Want It, You Got It." Now see that was on No Limits, No Limits double CD entitled "Down South Hustlers Bouncing and Swinging." Now the whole CD rock. Shout out to No Limits. Shout out to Master P. But that Slim song is stuck out. He stuck out. You know what I'm saying? He was later signed by Master P, and he changed his name. Fuck no, a nigga ain't made him change his name to SOULJA. The change from Magnolia Slim to SOULJA Slim was a power move. You heard me? He felt like he was a real soldier, and he paid his dues. And now it's time to see what the rap shit about. I felt him on that. You know what I'm saying? And it was, you know, like I said, he lived all his raps, everything he said, you could take it for face value, and he wasn't playing. You heard me? So, you know, I guess it was out in the streets that P made him change his name. I don't know, so I'm not gonna speak on that. But he did speak on that. You feel me? In the song, you heard me. You heard me. So, you know, Slim was Slim. You know, he spoke his mind whenever he could, whenever he got a chance to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was, though. In 1998, you heard me. Slim released his first solo project with No Limit Records, and it was entitled "Give It to Him Raw." You know what I'm saying? He had, you know, he had the hit single on there. He had the "I Wanted You" guy that was on there too, but the single was From What I Was Told. Yeah. So when he dropped From What I Was Told, that fucked the streets up. You heard me? Um, it but the album, you feel me? Uh Give It to Him Raw. It debuted at number 13 on the Billboard 200. You feel me? And sold over 80,000 copies its first week. You heard me? So Slim wasn't playing when it came to sales, album sales, putting his project together, putting it out. And like it was, Give It to Him Raw. That's what they liked. You know what I'm saying? That's what they expected from Slim. And that's what Slim gave it to him. He gave it to him raw. So by selling 80,000, over 80,000 copies his first week, that's damn near gold. I think 100,000 is gold. You understand me? But like I said, Slim was still in the streets. Slim was still living when he was rapping. And Slim was still Slim. You feel me? So at later on that year, he was locked up and convicted of armed robbery. You heard me? So Slim was that nigga that went gold in '98 while he was upstate. You feel me? So you heard me? He was that nigga. He went gold, but he was locked up, so he didn't really get to enjoy the success of his first album. You understand me? But he did hit the scene 3 years later. You understand me? In '01, and he dropped The Streets Made Me. That set the streets on fire. That set the South on fire. That set New Orleans on fire. That set the hood, every hood in New Orleans on fire. Then he dropped that Get Your Mind Right. That made it bad for all you bitch ass niggas that was in the game back then. Nigga, I'm especially in the city. Slim had the streets on lock at that time. Like '01, you feel me? When he dropped that shit, that was the classic. The Streets Made Me. He dropped that. That was the first thing he dropped when he come home. Streets Made Me. The fucking hit single, Get Your Mind Right. To me, that was his best project. But that is just my opinion. You understand me? My favorite off the, I can't even choose. You heard me? He had everything. It was a no skip. That's what I call it. No skip. You could let every song run to the full song. You ain't gotta skip nobody verse. You ain't gotta skip no song. You ain't gotta listen to the whole thing, bro. That is not many albums like that, especially coming out in the early 2000s. Slim had everything on lock in the South. He had it all on lock. Everybody was wearing camouflage. Everybody was wearing SOULJA rags. Everybody was wearing the SOULJA Reeboks. I mean, Slim just had everything on lock. You heard me? So he made it bad. You heard me? But I'm saying him and P, they had a discrepancy with behind the scenes negotiations. You heard me? Which led to I don't really know what the negotiations was. I don't know if it was a contract or verbal. I don't know nothing about that. All I remember is him asking Jeezy if a nigga owe him something. Jeezy was like, yeah. He was like, well, look, nigga owe me something. This is what we about to do. A plan was devised, and I don't know what happened after that, dog. But, it went sour. He had left cash money. You heard me? But I do remember somebody having silky drawers or some shit, and he was taken up. I know he was taken up for somebody. They were saying somebody was crazy, and he was saying he wasn't, but people kept saying whoever was crazy, but he was like the nigga ain't crazy and all that. So whatever that was, I don't know, but Slim seemed like a good solid front because he was taking up for whoever that people was calling crazy because he was saying that man ain't crazy. You heard me? He knew that man ain't crazy. But anyway, you heard me. Back to Slim. You dig? So I'm gonna say it like this. By this time, you heard me. Slim was on a roll. Slim had then dropped two projects. They both did great. You understand me? He was at least in the South. He wasn't really a household name, but he was in the streets. He was a hood name. You heard me? And he was all across the South, man. So like I said, he ended up leaving Master P them. You heard me? And No Limit Records. You dig? And this was in like '02. You feel me? So when he left, Slim left No Limit and started his own label, Cutthroat Committed Records. You heard me? Now Cutthroat Committed Records was like, man, that was like him and a couple of his partners, right? So it's like this, yeah. Slim went back to the hood with it. You heard me? He had got the knowledge from Master P. He had got what he thought he needed to know about the business side. You heard me? But see, Slim always knew the business side of you know what I'm saying, what went on in the game. He was always business shabby, and that was part of the discrepancy that he had with Master P because he knew what he was supposed to be getting. And I don't, like I said, it was behind. I don't know the logistics or the details with that, so I'm not gonna comment on that. But like I said, all I know If somebody had on some silky drawers, and you know, somebody was crazy, but he was saying the nigga wasn't crazy. So I don't know how that went. But anyway, so he dropped years later in 2002. You heard me? And I think the single off that was "You Gonna Feel Me." You know, he just wanted a nigga to feel him. You heard me? You know, he felt that he had been through what he'd been through, and he had learned what he learned, and he was gonna take what he'd been through, take what he learned, put it together, and build a brand off it. That brand was Cutthroat Committed Records. You heard me? Now he didn't spell it the right way, and he told us what it meant on the It was was a, I'm sorry, y'all. Niggas don't be understanding when you hit the button. That don't mean call right back. But anyway, you feel me? When he dropped, the single, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he just wanted the nigga to feel him. He was building his own brand, and that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? In '03, right? He dropped years later, a few months after. Now, when he dropped that one, that's the song what they had the "I Pay For It" on it. "I Pay For It" took him to another level, right? It made show that he was still in the rap game. He had a certified position in the rap game, but also with what he had learned about the business side, he was a boss too. You understand me? So that was two of the main things he needed to be successful, and he was successful. So when he dropped that, he dropped a like I said, years later, a few months after, that bitch was a smash. He had the whole South on lock. You understand me? And he wanted us to feel him. We was feeling him. He had everything on lock. I don't think nobody when that shit dropped, nobody, and I could say in New Orleans, was listening to anything else but Soulja Slim. You feel me? Anything else but Soulja Slim. I know I wasn't. I didn't want to hear nothing else. You heard me? But when he dropped "I Pay For It," that was that. You know, he just. I think he made history with that one. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. But around this time, right, the same time, he was in negotiations with New York based artist 50 Cent and his label G Unit Records about signing to them. You feel me? I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know the behind the scenes on that, so I'm not gonna speak on it. But at the same time, he said 50 shit was, you know, keeping it, brought it back to the streets. So that gave him an opportunity to stalk his street shit because 50 Cent had the rap game back in the streets. He was coming with that street shit. Why not go team with the nigga who he felt like brought the rap game back to the streets? That was smart. Slim was business minded. He was talented. He had the talent and the business mind to do what he wanted to do. He devised a plan. He set out to do that, and he was in negotiations with 50 Cent to signing. I don't know if it was a joint. I don't know if it was a single artist label. I don't know. That's why, you know, I ain't gonna get into it. But he was in negotiations with that. He was also in the booth at the same time with fellow uptown artist BG. You understand me? Free to BG. You understand me? He'll be home in a couple of minutes. Free to BG. He was also in the studio with him, about to drop an album called Never Seen Him Coming. You feel me? They ain't never see that coming. I ain't see it coming because we ain't even know it was going down. You understand me? A video was released by Video Wayne. Shout out to Video Wayne. Later on, that showed him and G's in the booth is legendary. Me personally, I think that's the best um footage of Slim that they have out. It really showed his character, his personality. Slim was a funny dude. It really showed another side of Slim, but it was still about business. And I think that's the best piece of visuals that they have out on Soulja Slim. You feel me? But at the same time, everything was coming together. He was still in the streets. Everything was coming together with the rap career. Everything that was coming together with his label, where he wanted to be in the rap game, where he was about to be in the rap game. Everything was coming together. But see, Slim was still in the streets. Slim ain't never leave them streets alone. He still was about what he was rapping. He was rapping what he was about. What he was about, He was really rapping, and when he was really rapping, he was really about. So some people they just, you know, they they stuck. You get stuck in it. It's an addiction. You feel me? It's an addiction. It's a rush. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of respect. It's a lot that goes. And plus, when you're in New Orleans and you got money, but you still be in the hood, you got to be a certain type of way because people don't look at you as a celebrity or big hip hop artist or they still look at you as a regular person with money. You understand me? And you got to know how to move, especially in a place where he came up, the Magnolia Projects. He never left, you understand me? He was always back there every day, you understand me? Or he was in a yo with C Murder, Free C Murder, but I'm not gonna get into him because that's gonna be another episode. Um, Slim was still in the streets. Wow, negotiation, all this, right? Okay, so boom, you heard me. Slim was gunned down before any of this could happen. Before any of this could happen, he got caught up in the streets, and the streets caught back up with him. You feel me? Like I said, bro, September 26, 2003, you heard me? He was shot, you heard me? He was shot 5 times. Wait, hold on, I don't want to get it right, you heard me? I don't want to get it wrong. I think he was shot either 3 or 4 times in his face, and he was hit once in the chest. Now, this all took place in front of Miss Linda's house that Slim purchased for them in the Gentilly area of New Orleans, Louisiana. You heard me, right in front of Miss Linda's house. It was tragic, man. Shout out to Miss Linda. She had to go through all that. Before when Slim died, he had 8 projects released. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he had that Soldier for Life. I'm not gonna count the EP. You heard me? Because it wasn't really a full album. But if I would have counted that, it would have been 9. But Slim had a lot of unreleased music too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna get into that because that's none of my business. But like I said, those albums were Soldier for Life, that was in 1993. Give It to Him Raw, that was in 1998. The Streets Made Me, I'm sorry, y'all, let me back up. Give 'Em to Him Raw was released May 19th, you heard me, 1998, you feel me? The Streets Made Me was released July 24th, 2001, you heard me? Now, July 24th, 2001. Years later was released December 24th, Christmas Eve, 2002. Years later, a few months after was my bad. Years later, a few months after was released August 26, 2003. Cutthroat Mixtape Volume 1. Hold on, y'all. Gotta get the Slim videos back up. Cutthroat Mixtape Volume 1, right, was released in 2004. You heard me? This post, it's after Slim's untimely demise. You feel me? Cutthroat Records Mixtape Volume 2 was released later that year in 04. And the joint album, Never Seen Him Coming by Slim and fellow Uptown artist BG, Frida BG, you understand me, was released and it wasn't released, it was leaked in 2008. You understand me? Like I say, Frida BG, Slim's Slow Motion single that was released on Juvenile's I think it was the Juvie the Great album. If I'm not mistaken, forgive me if I'm wrong. But that was him and fellow Juvenile Magnolia recorded artist Juvenile, which I'm gonna get into on another episode of this year. That was both of those artists' first #1 singles in their careers, and that put Slim as only the 6th rapper to have a I don't know how to pronounce that, but he was only the 6th rapper to have a #1 single after his death. You see what I'm saying? So Slim was a force to be reckoned with. He was taken way too soon. Uh, he died at 25. Um, and like I said, Slim is a piece of New Orleans hip hop history. He is still missed. People still ride and play his songs. It's 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 terrible that he's not here. But I figure that if Slim was here, that he would his Cutthroat Committee label. I think it would be on the Cash Money No Limit level right now, especially with him and his music, uh, the Cutthroat Committee music, and the artists that would have wanted to fuck with Slim. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the ones he would have signed or whatever. Like I said, he was with Koch Records, um, with the Cutthroat Committee, and he was supposed to sign Turk, but it was a discrepancy. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't really know the logistics behind it, but that fell through. You know what I'm saying? But he still had his label. He still was successful, and he still was on his way to be one of the most prominent artists slash bosses that came out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I think he would have been right up there with Slim and P. I'm gonna say Baby and P. It would have been Baby, Soulja Slim, and P. You know what I'm saying? He had the business mind to do it. He had the talent to do it. He had the team to do it. He had the, the people that was in his label and all that. He had them to do it, and he had the backing. He had the fan base, and he had 50 Cent backing him, and that is just a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? That he was taken away before he could really see and really like realized the effect that he had on the game. He still has on the game, and really realized what you know from his planning, and to see those plans come through. He never saw his #1 spot on Billboard. You feel me? And I think if Slim would have been alive, that slow motion with that #1 and all that would have took him to a place where he needed to be, right? To fulfill everything, every goal, every plan, everything that he wanted to do, and started his own label and set out to do way back in 1993 with the success of Slow Motion. I feel as though he would have been able to do that, and he was taken before he could be able to do that, and it's a tragedy. And New Orleans is a fucked up place. It's home. I love it. I love my city, but it's fucked up down here. You know what I'm saying? Uh, this has been the first edition of New Orleans hip hop history with P.NUT the General. You understand me? The first installment, like this, just just saying what's yam. You heard me? Like I said, it will start airing every Tuesday at 5:04 p.m. You understand me? Soldier Slim slash Magnolia Slim, better known as James Darrell Tap, was the first. You understand me? And next week, next Tuesday, we will be BG Derrick will be the next topic on P.NUT, and I didn't forgot my own shit name. Like I say, bro, and this another thing. I'm trying to be innovative. I'm trying to take this shit to another level. You understand me? I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You heard me? I want to thank all my viewers. I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank all my followers. I want to thank the people who share my shit, and it's all great. And I'm like I said, I'm just trying to touch new avenues, and bring it to a different place, and you know what I'm saying? Just you know, and I want to entertain y'all. You understand me? With some real shit though. Not about to get up here and be goofy. You understand me? Like I said, this is the first installment of New Orleans hip hop history with P.NUT the General, James Darrell Tap, rest in peace, Soldier Slim slash Magnolia Slim, Magnolia Slim slash Soldier Slim, however you want to call it. You understand me? He was the first episode. BG Derrick will be the next episode on New Orleans hip hop history with P.NUT the General. It's gonna air every Tuesday at 5:04 p.m. Y'all tune in. I want to thank y'all. Rest in peace, Slim. Shout out the whole New Orleans. Shout out the whole Magnolia. Shout out the whole Uptown. It's P.NUT the General. To know the podcast. You keep your body clean. Huh? Yeah.